Hey guys, Erito here. Welcome to Forza Motorsport. This is a bit of a change for the channel. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but never got a lot of time to do it. But I want to experiment now. I don't feel like I should be... I don't feel like making more stuff with 3D modeling on my channel, so I'm kinda changing things around, experimenting, and I want to try a bit of Forza, and I'm now doing the qualifying lap for a race at Suzuka, and this car quite impressed me, to be honest. This was the first time I was racing it around in a lobby. I had just gotten it, and yeah, you will see now how I'm gonna qualify. And my setup is very basic. It's basically just default with the arrow turned up and a couple of minor adjustments. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do on the channel for now. I hope you enjoy. Let me know if this format works. I'm gonna play the races and then I'll record the voiceover afterwards. I'll just commentate on the already edited video, show you where my breaking points are and all that stuff. And the parts that are a bit more boring, when nothing's happening, I'll just fast forward or skip ahead, as you will see in a moment. We are wrapping up my qualifying lap. And this race, well, it was quite embarrassing, if I'm honest, because I made a huge mistake. And you will see very quickly. It will be on the screen the whole time. Let me know if you noticed it before I tell you what it is. So here we are, ready to start up. There is one familiar car right there in the middle on the BMW. That's Erratic GT. I've seen them on YouTube. And just so happens that the one time I'm recording, well, this is not the first recording. I have done a test video before. I just never uploaded it. And yeah, so let's see how this goes. Well, you will see how it goes. I know how it goes. So we're starting on pole position. We got a really nice lap. It was a decent start. We're gonna be fighting this Porsche for the first couple of laps. I've always been really bad in these few first turns of this track, and they don't seem very comfortable with it either. However, I have a lot of practice because I've raced here in the F1 game quite a lot. In the F1 game I usually do 50% races, so that is a lot of laps to practice. We managed to get ahead here, brake just before the 50 board, aim for the apex, and be careful not to cut too much there or you'll end up with a pretty big penalty. They are pretty harsh with them right now as of the latest update. Porsche looked on the outside, they couldn't do it. I think they tried to do the switcheroo but couldn't do it. Now coming up, brake on the 100 board. Careful on the power here. It's very easy to lose the back end. On the power. Porsche right behind us. don't go for the pass, however I go a bit wide and open the door for them. Brake on the 100 here, or just before with this car, I feel. Now we got the McLaren to worry about as well, while we try to catch up to Eagle. Brake on the 50 as well there. Sometimes you can, I feel like I can go a bit deeper there, but just to play it safe. This was I was driving pretty safe on this track. Again, this is the first time I was driving this car, so I didn't know what to expect. And I really feel like I'm pretty fast here compared to Eagle ahead of us. You can go a little faster there. You gotta be really careful. I tried to start a bit wider, got under, but it wasn't enough. I was expecting it was gonna start raining. I didn't properly look at the weather because I just kind of joined and did a quick practice and then qualified. So I was kind of looking carefully at the clouds. Here I decided not to go for the pass. I don't want to make it too dangerous there, so I went for a bit of a bump draft. Here they slow down quite a bit. I don't know if that was lag or not, but I ended up slowing down too much and the McLaren gets ahead. However, I think I have the better top speed, so we easily go past again before the next turn. Now we gotta go and try and catch back up to the Porsche. Also, if I sound a bit too quiet, that's because I usually can only record these things at like 1 or 2 a.m. I just finished editing the video, so that's when I try to record, or else I would leave it for tomorrow. And I'll try to get 1 or 2 of these every week, depending on what tracks I like on the weekly rotations. Slowly catching up. If I remember, they make a mistake here. Yeah, they are very not comfortable around that turn, which allowed me to get close, and now they try to squeeze me on the outside, on the inside of him. But I managed to get just ahead enough. I think on their screen they may have touched me there, but I think that was just net code. Hard on the brakes, good parking on the apex, make sure they don't get a chance. And now it's smooth sailing for the next lap. Start to build a gap, so yeah, confirms that we were a little faster. I'm gonna speed up now. And you can now very much see the problem that we are gonna run into and the big mistake that I am about to make. as we now resume here just before going to the pits to switch to the second set of tires. As the McLaren can't decide where to go. And right, set tires and do the usual thing that I do. And you can very clearly see the mistake. Yeah. So I will explain what happened. I usually do my qualifying laps with the fuel load for the race, but this time for some reason I decided to put less fuel for the qualifying as this guy goes off, and I completely forgot about it, so I didn't refuel. I didn't set the fuel correctly to start, and yeah, this guy spooked me a little, which made me go a bit into the grass. Thankfully I recovered, but I saw that they had a 4-second penalty, so I was like, I probably should not go for it now. And here the car starts doing weird things, and I'm like, what is happening? Until I look at the bottom and I see no fuel. Well, I managed to limp it back to the pits. However, I lost pretty much all the position. I managed to not block anyone, and yeah, thankfully, by the force of magic, as soon as you enter the pits, the car suddenly has power to get you into the pit box. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the race for us. I still went to the end, because why not? Might as well be practice. And I got my fastest lap here, but Erratic GT actually managed to get the fastest lap from me. And they managed to climb all the way back to third, and we ended in P11 because of that massive mistake. Anyways, on to the next race. We are now at Le Mans in the P2 series. I really like this series. Unfortunately, this car is super overpowered, so it'll most time be at the top of the list, and this is one of those that you have to pay for, which I don't think is very fair. But there's also only 3 or 4 cars in this class or whatever, so there isn't much choice. Anyways, onto our qualifying lap. I never have a proper braking zone there, it's kinda just how I feel about it. I don't use any braking markers. And however here we brake just before the 100. I get a bit loose on the rear end. Now for these next ones you can use the 2 fences on the left, the green fences, to see where to start looking for the boards. Again, this time just after the 100 or the 50, I don't remember. To the last board. For the next turn, you aim for the apex, and as soon as you're just before the apex, you hard on the brakes, and you'll be perfectly set up for the next turn. For the next one, you can just lift, and as soon as you're done with the turn, you start braking hard. Right now, I got a bit loose again. Not the best lap, but it works here just before the second board, right here. Bit of wheel spin, that's fine. Here just on the red light on the left. Then flat out through here. Still flat out. Slow down a little here. coast a bit. Back on the power. You can cut a little more there. I went a bit wide. Here you brake just at the end of the dashed lines on the right. Cut as much as possible here. Very careful not to get a penalty or your lap invalidated. And we bring it to a 3:44.5 on pole position once again. Now for this one, the better strategy is to be on the hard tires and do a no stop. However, I wanted to see if I could do a one stop and still win it, because I have done it before. So we will see how it goes. And to be honest, I was going pretty fast here. I built the gap really quick, but that could also be because I am on mediums and some people are on the hards. I don't really consider myself some of the fastest or something. I just kinda enjoy the game. I don't even play with manual gears. I play on auto, however with traction control off, ABS on. I usually only play with manual gears when I'm using my wheel. However, I don't really do multiplayer with the wheel because there's no radar, there's nothing to tell you where your opponents are, which kinda sucks. So, yeah. Here we quickly build a gap, so we're just gonna fast skip to when we pit, because nothing really happened, it was just building gap. But this is where things start to change for the worse. You go into the pits and you just sit there as you hear the other cars go by and you start to think, was this the decision? And unfortunately, spoiler alert, it was not the good decision. I wasn't too confident in managing to make hard tires last all 4 laps. But I guess I'll try next time. Maybe next video I'll show you a run with the hard tires. If this race shows up with a good schedule. That guy completely cut and got a penalty. Got a little loose at the rear there. Was trying to minimize time lost there. This is now 2 pretty easy passes. However, here I kinda should have just been more patient, I think. Was it here? No, it's not this one. I think it's the next lap. That guy was better off the turns, but I am running pretty much nearly 0 downforce in my setup, so I get the better top speed. I didn't even bother going the inside to defend. I just knew that if he gets out of the slipstream, he's just gonna fall back. And that's what happened. we fast forward a bit till we catch up to the next guys. Bit of a dodge there, thankfully there was no penalty. Penalties are really harsh right now. Any minor touch and you can end up with a massive penalty. There I didn't get the penalty because I slowed down. These two, something happened with them. They crashed it themselves. So that was 2 free positions. Now it's just about catching up with this guy. They tried to outbrake me and ended up just going too far deep and off into the gravel. Then we go forward, because this is where we end. We didn't manage to catch them up. I think this guy ahead of me was possible, but I lost too much time passing the other drivers behind me. A bit slow through there, but didn't matter. And we end up P3 for our final race. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know if this format works. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.